we're just going to start with warming up, sitting or standing. So just literally moving. I'm not going to time you. I'm just going to do it until I start to feel a bit hotter. And I'm just aware in the room I'm in at the moment, I've now got quite a lot of things on the floor to fall over. So you know the most likely way to injure yourself is to fall over the equipment.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that.
Yeah, please don't fall over. When you falling.
Yeah, no fall.
I'm really hoping I don't fall over. So whatever you're doing, oh, yeah, Helen's coming back in. Could you bring your knees a little higher? So you might be doing something like a heel raise. You might be lifting your feet off the floor. Doesn't matter. Hi, Helen. I think she's there. Hiya. It's weights and a long band, Helen.
Okay.
And now where are we going to go with these legs? I think we could go out and in. So they just go out to the side. But I can see you all doing, like, you know how to warm up. Move your arms, move your legs. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Susie's bouncing as well because she's on the ball. She likes to look dangerous. I have seen people do classes with weights and balls, and Susie, that may be you today.
It could be, yeah.
So hopefully, feeling a bit warmer.
Yep.
Give me thumbs or some sort of positive signal if your thumbs aren't playing the game at the moment, like a wave. Excellent, right? We're all looking like we need to stop.
My poor neighbours.
Bit of recovery. And just the normal things we do for warm-up. So check that your feet are facing forwards and you've got hip distance legs. That'll be 2 fists if you're seated, and it's about a book distance if you're standing. Grow tall and some pelvic tilts. Nothing fancy, just your usual pelvic tilts, using whatever you like to help you, so hands where it helps you. That's it. With an exhale. Helen, you've got your lights are flashing a lot at the moment. Could you change it to a static setting? Lovely. I don't mind what colour, but the flashing gets me, I'm afraid. Sorry.
It was just blue. I don't know why it does that. Sorry.
It looks like you live your life in a permanent disco.
Let's avoid migraines, shall we?
And then just give your hips a little wriggle. We'll give our shoulders a little bit of a roll. That's it. And some sort of neck roll that's nice for you today. We don't do specific sort of neck things, but we do always in this class try and do things where we're extending your back a bit. So you might find you're doing positions where your head goes back a bit more. And then bring your head back to the center. And then take your arms in an L shape. And we're going to do a little squeeze back and a release forwards. That's it. So it's like you're taking the really pointy bits of your elbows back. Your arms stay close into your sides. They can really snuggle in. You're feeling open across the collarbone. There's no up and down. So if it feels like you're getting a bit of this, just feel the downfall and then slide back. And you might need to do it a little smaller. Otherwise, we're sort of getting all of this. Yes, lovely. All looking good. And let go of that. Just give everything a little shake out. And then we're going on a walk, either on the spot or across something, your floor, your mat, whatever it is. And definitely use the wall or anything that helps you to balance. But we're going to do different things with our feet. So I'd like you to embrace your inner penguin, turn your feet out a little bit, and just go for a little penguin walk. Now I've noticed I'm definitely looking down. Now I'd like you to do it looking ahead, and you might need to go slower, and you might need to be touching a wall or things that help you balance. You might have a stick, whatever helps you. And you can see I'm going forwards and backwards. I'd like you to do the same. Different muscles when we go backwards. Excellent. You might even be looking at something ahead that's eye level just to help with your focus. Now change your feet, and could you take it so you're pigeon-toed? If you've got a hip replacement, I'd like you to go really small on this, so not very pigeon-toed, but otherwise we should be good. And again, you might find you're looking down initially. All good, you've got to feel safe. But then can you slow down, bring your gaze up and look ahead? And see if you can go forwards and backwards. If you need to look and check, it's all good. And then straighten your legs out. They probably need it now, and your hips probably need a bit of a wiggle.
Perfect.
So it's a balance one, that one, because your feet are going all sorts of different directions, definitely challenging your balance. Right, now we're going into something that's going to work our back a little bit. So I'll show you the initial position, then I'll show you adaptations. I'm coming closer. A salute at the sides with the elbows out like this. Now, if that's too much for your arms, same shape but lower. So it might look like this or something like that. I'll show you how it's going to go. So Suzanne, you're probably best against a wall for this. We're going to go out and in like that. Now, one thing I really want you to check is as you go out, that you can just out of the corner of your eyes still see bits of your arms and hands. I don't want basically this when they start disappearing and you can't see them. That's it. So it doesn't matter what height you are with this, but you can feel the sort of opening across your chest and that squeeze of your shoulder blades together at the back. You can take it super slow if you like. I'm not going to count and I'm not going to set a timer. That's it. Lovely. Make this your last one. Just let the arms drop down, have a rest. We're going to do something very similar. I'll show you how it goes. So we're going to open out, come back, and then that same thing we did at the beginning, but slide back. So we start, we're going to go out, come in, slide back. It might be lower, so you open out, come in, slide back. And we'll do about 8. We must have done at least 3 already. That's it. If you're seated, you need to be in the front third of the chair, otherwise you're going to be just crashing into bits of chair. And last one. Lovely. And some sort of wriggle. Just have a little reset, maybe a drink. Right, now we're going to do something with our feet. We're going to take them into a stance where one foot's forward and one foot is back. It's like you've taken a step and there's a gap between your legs. And if you're seated, one foot is going maybe under the chair or just behind by the leg, and the other foot is slightly forwards, just like you're about to take a walk. So we've got that stance. I want you to push off your back foot as if you're about to go forwards, then stop yourself and go back. And if you're seated, it's like you're about to stand up. You've probably got your best leg forwards. We're going to do 8, already done 3. So just this little rocking. Let your arms do whatever they want to do. That's it. And one more. We're not going to change sides. Going to come back to the other side later. We're going to stick on this side. Right now, I want you to take your weight backwards. So into the back foot a little. I'll come to the seated version in a second. And then bend your legs a bit. Send your bum back and then bring it up. Back and up. And if you're seated, you might want your hands on your legs for this one. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. There's not quite as much push energy like you're going to get up. A bit more squashed out. That's it. And again, we're probably about halfway through. That's it. And make this next one the last one. Now remember which leg is in front because it's going to stay in front, but we have to get our weights now. So grab your weights or the heavy thing that you're going to use. So you might have wrist weights, you might have bags, you might have dumbbells, just whatever is right for you today. Remember which leg is in front. That's going to stay in front, and you're going to do the hip hinge again, just like you did before, but now you've got your arms at the side. Now, I don't want them to just be like pulling and lengthening your arms. Give them a little lift, not like you're lifting up, but just like you're definitely not letting your arms be as long as they possibly could be and sort of drag you down. So just feel like you're just giving it a little lift. And could you make the little finger just a little bit tighter? Hard with a little finger because you don't always get a huge amount of feeling, but just feel a feeling of wrapping that little finger just a little bit tighter. If you've got wrist weights, you can make a fist if you like and just make that little finger a little bit tighter. So the same, little hip hinge. I'm going to do 4 standing. That's it. I'm going to do 4 seated. So it's basically like you've got 2 bags of shopping and you're doing your hip hinges. Obviously, this is what everybody does in Sainsbury's.
Did it today.
And then keep that foot in front. And if you're standing, I want you to come to a sort of push-up position. So the foot at the back is almost pushing you up a little. And then we're going to go into bicep curls. So if you're seated, you're sat up, 1 foot forwards, 1 back. And if you're standing, you've got this little push-off. Now we'll turn the weights so your knuckles are at the front. Keep your elbows in. And we're doing 8. That's it. Now you could do 1 and then the other, and then you'd only be doing 4 each side, and that might be what you need today, or you might be going singles. I don't mind. That's it. Use an exhale as you pull them towards you. Real squeeze. I like to imagine a lemon on my bicep. You know I love citrus fruit. And then you're done for a bit. We're going to put the weights down, have a little break. So put them down, note where they are so you can't fall over them. Give your arms a little bit of love. They might want a little rub. They might want a little sort of spaghetti wiggly wave. And then we're going to walk like we're tightrope walking. Again, use what you need to stabilise yourself. You could be doing it from your chair and you're just putting 1 foot heel toe in front of the other and then back. And you might hold your chair or bring your hands up or rest them up here because that will all be challenging. But just keeping your feet really close together and heel toeing. And then if you're doing it standing, you might want your arms out to the side. And at the moment, I know we're all looking downwards. And we'll go with that. As we get more confident, I'm going to give you a little look. Yeah, we're good. Everyone's still standing or seated. See if you can go slower and gaze ahead. And find something just to get closer to. You might even try going backwards. And we're really going for that heel toe. You want to feel the back of your heel, touching the next foot, going forwards or backwards.
Well, even I'm falling over, I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And then that's your last one. Oh, just give everything a little bit of a shake out. You might want a little flop.
Oh my God.
Right, now we're going back into that stance we had before, but the other leg is forwards. No weights yet. Just get that stance. And I think we started, did we rock backwards and forwards first? Let me have a little look. I think so, yeah.
Yep.
We did a little push off backwards and forwards. So just get that going and let your arms do whatever they want to do. That back foot is pushing you forwards, like you're about to get out of your chair, like you're about to take a step forwards. Lovely. Now, grab your weights and we're going to hold them at the side like shopping bags. Oh, I think I missed out a hip hinge. Pop your weights down again. If you've got wrist weights, don't pop them down because I know it's a faff. I forgot the hip hinge and I do want to make sure we do the same on this side. So just start your hip hinge backwards. Just sending your weight back like you're having a little sit down. There's a chair just behind you. Oh no, there isn't. And you can touch the walls. You can have like a stick next to you and be holding that. You can be holding your chair, you could be touching your legs. We're doing about 8, and I reckon we're halfway through. Your bums are going to thank you. And I reckon this is the last one. Now, grab your weights. But remember which leg is in front. So now you're holding your bags, but you're not letting them pull your arms straight down. There's a little bit of just resistance pulling upwards. And could you tighten the little finger particularly? So it's just wrapped a little tighter around either your hand and fist or your weight. And then do that hip hinge again. You don't even need to go particularly low. You don't need your back to go very low either. It doesn't need to be like way down here. That's it. Think about the bum going back. You might try looking forwards and having that as your focus. Having something that you're gazing at and you're just going a little under it and then you're on eye level and a little under it and on eye level. That can be really helpful. Last one. And then we're coming to quite upright posture. So upright if you're sitting, this little push-off foot's going on, giving you this sort of, look like you're just about to go forwards, but we're not going to. We've just got that forwards energy. Now bring your hands so that your knuckles are facing forwards and your elbows are in. Now we've already done these in the last round. We're going to do it slightly differently. I'd like a quicker squeeze and a slower release. So breath out for the squeeze. And then a breath in as you slowly release. Now, if this is too much or it's torture, I'd rather you went back to where we were and just did them however you fancy doing them. I can feel my arms are getting tired because it's getting harder to do the slow release. That's number 8. That's definitely number 8 for me anyway. Now place your weights down. Done with the weights for a bit. Again, loosen your arms off. Maybe have a little wiggle or a shimmy or a little rotation. Just something soft that just calms your body down. Maybe a little swing forwards and backwards. Lovely. Right, next one is all about the legs and it's about keeping power. So it's the thing that we often struggle with. partly through aging or partly just through issues going on with our bodies. But that ability to sort of push off, and there's a sort of theme of this going on in the class today. So have one leg still, and the other leg is going to go out to the side, and I want you just to sort of push back with this other leg. So what's the left leg here, it's not doing it, it's just receiving the energy. But I want some energy from this leg, and we could be doing this seated as well. I would hold on to the chair a bit though if you're seated. So pushing into the floor. I would say you could do this on the ball, but I fear it would push you over. And then take that same leg that's doing the pushing and just take it forwards and push yourself back a little. This other leg, you can move it if it wants to be wider or further back. I just want a bit of energy from the forwards leg. That's it.
2 minutes.
And then have a rest for a moment. Just let the legs have a sway in and out. Now, if you find that's something that you like doing and you want to do more of, you're working up to doing something like that. Or that, like a skating sort of move. You can even bring your arms up to, and that might be somewhere you're already confident on going, or you might think not a chance yet. So that's where that's going. Don't feel you have to do it now. Other leg. I can see someone's very happy about that one.
It's easier than this sitting one.
Pardon?
It's easier than the other one.
Well, it is in a way because the energy swaps between the legs, but it's just a really good way of getting that push off, and it gets a little moderate impact through your system as well. So very good for osteoporosis, osteopenia, and prevention of those. So we just got that little push. Susie, if you're happy going between legs, keep going. That's it. And then we'll go a little forwards and backwards. So if you're doing this forwards and backwards, it's like a little hop forwards, a little hop backwards.
Love it.
And you can take this leg in different places and just use it to push you off. That's it. You're all doing an excellent job of not falling over, so we're all good.
It's much harder on this leg.
Oh, what? So it's harder on the leg that's pushing or the leg
Yes,
that's...
the other leg keeps on wanting to push for me instead.
Ah, so is the other leg more dominant?
Yes, this is my weaker leg.
So it's one to practice maybe.
Yeah,
Interesting to notice though.
yeah.
Little itchy.
Oh, is it making you, is it heat, do you think, Karen?
Yeah.
It definitely brings the blood up, this one. Have a rest. Think of something nice. So it might be a little wiggle. It might be back to the flop.
Holiday.
You might want to be still. You might want to drink. Let me check where we're going next. Right, we're going to go into some squats and some resistance. Now you could do this with a band, or you could do it with your weights. So if you prefer the band, we can do it initially with no pull downwards or anything. We can just hold it close to the chest. Legs are wide, and you're going to send your bum backwards and push yourself up. So that's one option. Don't start yet. Take it easy. You could also have weights close to your chest. These are too heavy. I'm going to get a different weight. So you could hold that weight close to your chest and use that. But I want you to keep your eyes forwards. So if we're looking at the screen or you're looking at me or whatever, I'd find something not me. I'd find something that's not moving. But keep your eyes forwards, so that your head doesn't do that and nod down. And we're going to do, let's go for 8 again. That's it. Now, can you really push into your heels to push you upwards? Your bum is going to feel this tomorrow, I will say. We've worked bums hard. Last one. Now you can hold on to your band if you want to, or you can hold on to your weights, or you can put it down. I'm going to put mine down. If you've got a band now, the next place it's going to go is under the feet, and the legs are quite wide, but the feet are pointing forwards. And I'll show you how it's going to go, but don't start yet. So I've got mine. I'm pretty much at the end of my bands because I'm going to be pushing upwards, and there isn't going to be much room for pushing with this one. So I send my bum back, bands are floppy. I come up and then I'm pushing. And if I turn to the side, you'll see my arms aren't straight because I haven't got the strength to push this completely forwards. But it's forwards and up. You might be doing it less than that, might be like that. The other thing you can do is have your weight on your chest. Do your squat and then push your weight forwards and up. So I'm not going for straight up in the air because I think that leads us to shoulder issues too much. Forwards and up is still going to be great strengthening for the shoulders, and it could be forwards and ahead and you don't go too far. So Suzanne, I would say like that.
Yeah, and do
Lovely.
top sides. Yeah.
Perfect. So on this one, I'm going to do a timer. Get ready. Let me get the timer ready. Go. So you can take it slowly. I'm going to give you a halfway point. That's it. And your halfway point's just coming up if you want to swap over. Nearly done. There we go. Place your band down, place your weight down. And let's give our arms maybe a little stretch behind us. You can interlock them, or you can place them just so they're close to each other and sort of stacked. And just push your arms just somewhere behind you. You don't have to go crazy on this one, just want a little bit of length. And then release them, and we'll go one more with that. Give them a little stretch back behind. And again, we don't have to lift up really high or anything. We're coming to that in a moment.
Good.
Let that go. And then take the band behind you, close to your bum or your back. If you're in a chair, you will need to come forwards a little bit, or you might need to sit to the side of your chair so that your arms can go without touching the back. And I like my hands quite close together for this.
Fun.
That's it. Just lift gently. If you push it, all that's going to happen is your wrists are going to be very uncomfortable. So just a gentle lift. Lovely. And just maybe 3 or 4 more, but really soft. Nice. Let go of that. Right, where am I going next? We're going for, let's go into an all fours sort of position. I'm going to give you different things. If you're in a chair and you want to stay seated, it really helps to get your chair close to something like this table. Well, it's not a table, it's a chest of drawers. But so that you can be like that. So if you can take yourself to a surface like that you can lean against, because then you can get your arms going up like this. It's harder for the legs, it doesn't work so well for the legs, but it's going to work for the arms. Other thing you can do, you could go into all fours if you're happy in all fours. Or I like to take myself to something like the drawer because I find it more comfortable for the hands. And I send my bum back, so I'm in. You can see it's sort of an all fours position. I just haven't got my legs bent and shins on the floor. So it could be like that. Or you could be in your classic all fours. I'm going to be mixing this one up. So if you're in your classic all fours, fold them out if you need to for your hands, fold them out if you need to for your knees, put anything underneath that you need to. First, we're just going to hold a position. So, anybody need any guidance on how to put themselves in this position? Okay, so can you make sure that your hands, so Suzanne, can you take your hands forwards a little bit?
Yep.
That's it. Maybe a tiny bit more. That's it. I'm just looking to see if I can see anyone else's. Right now, what I'd like you all to do is push away from whatever you're against. So you feel that your back goes into your top a little bit. So it's not pushing backwards, it's sort of pushing your legs away, pushing your hands away. So if you're in all fours on the floor, your shins push downwards, and it's like your back almost starts to go up towards the ceiling. So think about the bum staying where it is, and the back going upwards, and the back of your head in line with your back rather than hanging down. And it's like a little mini plank, this one. If you're got on a desk or a table, just push away and then soften, maybe come a little closer to it, or take the weight off your wrists, ease off. So this is a plank. I know your legs aren't back, doesn't matter, it's still a plank. Well done. And yeah, I know the wrists. Oh. I'm going to go again if you want to.
If you've got your weights are handheld, if you hold on to them when your knuckles go on the floor, you can get a straight wrist.
Oh, do you mean like sort of like using like a handle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Good tip.
Well
Yes.
done. That's awesome.
So I like that one a lot. Get yourself back in your position. I'm going to go for all fours with the wrist handles. I like that because now I've got my hands on the floor. Imagine a bit of fire under your armpits first. Let's go for that. Think of the back of your head. You know when I do the tap the head and put it against the wall, that sort of, I often do that cue. Now you're going to do it just in the position you're in, so that back of your head goes back and your neck feels long. If you've got your shins on the floor, press them down. You'll feel tension in your belly and your core. It's like you can't let the belly hang down on this one. It wants to retract. And now ease off. You might come away from it. You might sit down. You might sit back. Give your wrists a little bit of movement. Well done, by the way. We've never done planks in class before, so, you know, this is a whole new level. Not going to do another one. If you're doing the recording, you might, as you do the recording through the month, add a third. But the important thing is, whilst you do it, you can still breathe. I don't want you to just hold your breath and loads of pressure. I want you to try and breathe at some point. Right, now, I'm going to give you a range of positions. You can go back to your all fours. You can have your weight handles, or you can be leaning on your table. And we're going to start raising an arm, but nothing else changes. So your bum doesn't move, your head doesn't move. And then we'll raise the other arm. If you want to stay seated up, upright, and you don't want to lean forwards because your shoulders have had enough, go for like this sort of backstroke when the palms are going in towards the centre. And this will still give you an element of this position. Just keep your back nice and straight and your belly with a little uplift, and you'll get that same sort of benefit. That's it. And the thing to watch here is that your head stays, and it's all looking good actually, the head doesn't drop down. If you're in this seated straight up position, just keep your chest shining forwards. That's it. And let's make this the last one or two, depending on whether you think the other side needs another one. And then bring yourself to a comfortable position now. So you might want to be like relaxing in a sort of child pose or a little puppy pose, or you might want to sit up and just give your wrists a bit of love. But just give yourself a comfortable position for a moment. We're going to ease off the shoulders and everything shortly. And then bring yourself to either standing or to upright seated. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit so I don't fall over all the things that are all over the floor. I am such a messy person. And maybe have a drink. And we're just going to sort of give everything a little roll out to finish. So we're going to do some elbow circles. That's when you take the points of the elbows back. We'll do one and then the other. Take your time, especially if your shoulders are a sticky area. But let your waist have a turn. So we get a little bonus rotation. That's it. And a couple more of those. And now bring your hands together. You can interlock or you can clasp. I quite like a clasp on this one. And then just a little sort of circly, figure eighty, rolly sort of movement. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one. And then reverse it. Oh, I don't know that I can.
Oh my Lord.
Why is that so hard?
It's so hard, that bit.
Doing that side to side.
What's odd is I can do it the other way and it feels quite smooth. And then I try and go this way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't want
Doesn't.
It's just weird.
Do it tiny.
Oh, yeah, keep it little. And then push your hands forwards like you're making a stop sign. Pull your back ribs and your shoulder blades back. And then bring your hands towards you. It's like you're pushing a wall and moving away from it. That's it, very nice. And a couple more of those. Now let me just check. Oh, I know why I feel quad stretch. I know this is a tight area for a lot of people. Now for this one, I'm going to have to take you into a range of positions here. So it was not going to work seated on the floor, but you could do a sort of seated, lying down sort of version where you bring your leg behind and you hold it there. Now, I know some of you are thinking, not a hope, Kerry, not a hope, but so I can see that's worked for some of you. The other thing you can do is use your band for that, and you might put the band around your ankle, and then you've got like a little handle for your leg, and again, but it needs you to lie on your side. If you are standing or able to stand, you can do this with or without the band. I would hold on to something. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to do that and concentrate on standing and stretching out your hip flexor. So have something close by. You can also use your leggings and pull that back. Another version, no, I think that's where I'm stuck on that one. Oh yes, I know, side sitting, that's the one.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a side saddle. And you could use the floor to help you. Or again, if you can grab your leg or grab your trouser and you lean back. A sofa is nice for this. Susie, I can see you look like you're on a sofa.
Yeah, I am.
Ooh.
And then release that side and do the other side. Don't often do this one in class, the quad one, but because we've done such a lot with our legs and hip hinging and squatting, I thought it was a good one to do today. If it's a really tight area for you, it can be a challenging one. And you might find your leg is a long way away and you're using the band, and it's fine. Doesn't matter how close or how far away it is, it's still doing something. And then bring yourself into a comfortable position for your legs. So they might be long somewhere, you might be sat on the sofa or something. Put your hands on your chest, feel the weight, and then push your chest up a little, just a little, and let it sink down. Push it up, take a breath in, and let it sink down. Push it up, and let the breath go. Take your arms out at the side, palms outwards, scoop up the air and bring your hands together. Bring them into your chest. Give yourself a huge plaque. A huge plaque, clap even. I was going to say congratulations for your planks.